Being a girl's girl does not mean blindly supporting someone just because they're a woman. In fact, some of you enable such bad behavior to the point where they think it's okay, and you are exactly the reason that they act the way that they do.
The problem is we don't have enough women disrespecting men. We don't have enough women humbling these men and putting them in their place. We need to start making these men feel worthless because they are, okay? Call him a disrespect him.
Dark-skinned men make fun of light-skinned men the most, but...
Ay, she's a runner, she's a track star.
Yeah, y'all, I'm trying to figure out why I'm in the middle of Miami. Literally at what time?
It's 12:44.
At 12:44, we go to a club called Mona. Do you know this club told me I'm too dark and too thick?
Clean house before we get started. For those who been rocking with me from day one, I appreciate the support. For those who may be new here, coming in out the door, for your boy, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, get it cracking in the comments. Everybody your engagement absolutely helps promote me into the YouTube algorithm. By the way, don't forget to hit the notification bell. I thank y'all for all the support. Now, let's get to it. Drop the video. Let's go.
Being a girl's girl does not mean blindly supporting someone just because they're a woman. In fact, some of you enable such bad behavior to the point where they think it's okay, and you are exactly the reason that they act the way that they do. Who said that? Who said that?
Facts. As long as I can scream facts. Being a girl's girl and having girl code doesn't mean enabling women's bad behavior. A lot of times, the misandrists and feminists online on social media, and I'm going to preference that because I don't like castigating women in reality with this nonsense on social media. They believe that wholeheartedly supporting women, no matter what, is being a girl's girl and staying on girls' code, when in fact it's nothing more than misandry and enabling, and I should say enabling, women to have this perception that they can do no wrong, and no matter what they do, there's a justification for it. I've seen numerous videos of females posting on TikTok and social media the most horrendous content you can think of, and you have women sitting up in the comments in an echo chamber, second-handing, raising their hand, swearing before Jesus that this is nothing but the truth. This stuff is nonsense. This stuff has got to stop. You should be able to be fair and impartial, regardless of gender. If someone is doing some foul shit, you should be able to call them out for it, regardless if you have this false sense of being on code with that particular gender. Gender should not play a role when it comes with looking at things from a perspective of morality, what's right and what's wrong. Gender shouldn't matter. Either you're wrong or you're right, regardless of what's swinging or hanging between your legs. You should also be able to be adult enough to know that enabling bad behavior simply because it's a woman does not move any conversation forward. It doesn't push culture forward in a positive aspect. The only thing you're doing is sitting in an echo chamber, reverberating nonsensical dialogues, nonsensical perspectives of misandry. And a lot of times, I know a lot of you ladies are bitter and broken, and you believe in trauma-tainment. You sit up and you watch this negative content constantly because you get off on it, because it makes you feel some type of way. It gives you some reassurance that maybe you're not the problem. But in actuality, you are the problem. And the women who support you in your problematic stances, your problematic ideology and pathology, do nothing more than harm you, because you will never grow from it, because you don't believe that you're doing anything wrong. And this is the problem, not with just women, but a lot of people in today's society. You cannot grow because you cannot self-reflect, because you believe that validation of your trauma and your bitterness and the fact that you haven't received healing from it because others are the same, and they get in an echo chamber and tell you that there's nothing wrong with the way you believe. There's nothing wrong with how you're moving. They're doing you an injustice, and they're stunting you from growing, because a lot of you don't want to heal. A lot of you want to wallow in self-pity, because a lot of you believe that being the ultimate victim is the key to success, and it's not. If you do not grow, if you cannot motivate past your trauma, if you cannot move past whatever ills and woes you, then you're going to stunt your growth, and you're going to be the same person 10, 20, 30 years down the road, and you're going to even be more bitter and broken, and you're really going to cause damage to those loved ones that are coming up behind you that you cannot give sound advice for. The only advice you're going to give them is negativity and trauma, and they're going to perpetuate that cycle because it's evident and clear that's what we're seeing now in modern times. Trauma. And I've coined a word for it, traumatainment. A lot of you are so enthralled and get your jollies off traumatainment that you don't understand that these people are doing nothing more than entertaining you with trauma.
The problem is we don't have enough women disrespecting men. We don't have enough women humbling these men and putting them in their place. We need to start making these men feel worthless because they are, okay? Call him a bitch. Disrespect him. Put him down. Make him feel bad about himself. Like, what's going on here? I feel like we're losing the plot. Like, I'm seeing too many marriages and too many people getting in these relationships. That's why these men think that they're the prize. Because y'all are putting them on this pedestal, making them feel like they're the prize. No. It's your job as a woman to put that man down and put him in his place. Treat him like the animal he is.
Woo, boy, this misandry stinks to hell and back. So let me understand this. It's your job or duty as a woman to put a man in his place through words, because we know you don't possess a force mechanism to exert your will over men. So this is how misandries and feminists fight, with words. And then they're shocked and chagrined when their words are met with violence. You're sitting up here advocating for women to belittle, denigrate, and disrespect men because you don't like the fact that some men, and a very small percentage of men, believe that they are the prize, when in fact both men and women who are worth their salt are prizes. They're equally yoked to be prizes. See, the problem is a woman like yourself, a little girl like yourself, I should say, you bring nothing. Only thing you bring is what's between your legs. And you feel somehow that your looks and what's between your legs is enough. And you're finding yourself running into relationships that do not come to fruition with anything tangible past the sex. So you, because you're perpetually on social media, engaged and locked in a gender war, see men and women going back and forth and back about who's the prize, 50-50, and who's superior and who's inferior. Get off social media and go touch grass, because these conversations that y'all have, people are not having in reality. And ma'am, for the love of God, I want you to understand this clearly and with laser point precision. If you are in fact the type of woman who believe you can put a man in his place through belligerent words, and those words are violence, then you may find yourself on the receiving end of that said violence. Because if you're going to disrespect men so blatantly and so fervently with disrespect, you better be prepared for what comes with that. Because this message you're promoting here, especially to young women, is dangerous. And for a lack of a better term, stupid.
Dark-skinned men make fun of light-skinned men the most, but they be the main ones creating them.
Absolute facts. This is this colorism nonsense. And a lot of dark-skinned men try to perpetuate this notion that light-complected men are weak, that they're feminine. I get it. Dark-skinned men want to put themselves at the top of the hierarchical pedestal when it comes to attractiveness and being selected. We get it. However, I ask all dark-skinned men this. If you have such disdain for light-complected men, why are you also the very men going after light-complected women or biracial women to make light-complected men? Because there's no guarantee when you get a woman pregnant that she's going to have a boy or a girl. That's a toss-up. You don't know what gender your child is going to come out. So if you have disdain for light-skinned men so much that you can't stand them ninjas, that they're weak, they're effeminate, they're like girls, and they do light-skinned shit, why are you so quick to make them? Why are you so attracted to light-complected women? You should stay far away from any light-complected sphere, but you run to it. Y'all love a light-skinned baddie. Y'all love a mixed-race baddie. And the reason you do is because you don't like yourself. Yeah, this is the one time I'll agree with the colorism dummies. You don't like yourself because you don't want to perpetuate your dark skin and your lineage. So you run to women who would probably give you lighter hue of people in your lineage. But you forget one thing. There's no guarantee with gender. So you can have a girl, you can have a boy. And if you have such disdain for light-complected black men, it says a lot about who you are. You don't like yourself, sir. You don't. You don't like yourself. And I would suggest, instead of getting into a relationship and perpetuating this nonsensical colorism, you maybe go and get help and heal from your generational trauma of colorism. Because a lot of y'all got problems, man. A lot of y'all, and I'm not just talking about dark-skinned men, dark-skinned women. A lot of black people have issues when it comes to this colorism and complexion conversation. A lot of y'all are just broken and hurt because I get it. I get it. We know where this stuff comes from, white supremacy. But y'all got to learn to move past this and grow the fuck up. Y'all got to grow up, man, and realize that a person's value isn't inherently locked into their complexion. It's locked into their character.
Ay, ay. She's a runner, she's a track star. She gon' run away when it gets hard.
This is some of the most disrespectful shit I've seen in a long time. Why would you take a picture like this with your children? You're in a one-piece leotard bodysuit type thing, and you felt compelled to take a family portrait with your ass exposed like this with 1, 2, 3, 4 children present. This is diabolical, man. This is degeneracy at its highest level. I don't know who told y'all that it's okay to walk around in a perpetual state of sexual titillation, even in front of children. When is it going to be enough? When does sexiness become trashy or classless? When does the need to show your body supersede the respect for your own children? I'm just asking this question honestly. For the ladies that agree with this picture, when is enough of this enough? I get it. Y'all like to be sexy. Y'all want to walk around in a constant state of sexual titillation. I get it. But I asked the question, when does it stop? Does it not stop in front of children? Does it not stop at water parks, at Disneyland or Disney World, in the grocery store? Where does the sexiness stop? Because to me, this isn't sexy. This isn't funny. And this isn't cute. To put a family portrait out like this. Like, what is wrong with you? Who raised you? Who told you this was acceptable? Why would you want to have a family portrait of 4 little children and yourself dressed like this on display in your home? Who are you putting this up for? Because there's no one who's a family-minded, decent person gonna see a picture like this and think this is okay. This is debaucherous. This is insanity. Y'all have got to get yourselves together for your children's sake. I can't understand why a woman would even take a picture like this and think this is remotely acceptable and post it to social media for the world to see.
Yeah, y'all, I'm trying to figure out why I'm in the middle of Miami. Literally at what time?
It's 12:44.
At 12:44, we go to a club called Mona. Do you know this club told me I'm too dark and too thick? Didn't let her in because she's too thick. Dark?
Bitches have audacity.
What's really going on, Miami? All too dark to get in the club? Yeah, no. Somebody need to let me know what's going on in Miami. Seriously.
Let me say this. I don't go where I'm not celebrated. I don't go where people don't respect my money. And I definitely don't go where someone tells me I'm too fat or too black to go in. Here's where self-respect and dignity should play a part. If you go somewhere and those people tell you you're too big, you're too dark to come and conjugate them inside of our club, I wouldn't get mad. You know what I would do? I would stay away from there. And you know what I would do? I would go where I would celebrate it and accept it. Posting to social media, being rejected by a club that clearly has a standard of who they want to patronize their business. Because let's be honest, you're in South Beach, you're in Miami, they have a certain level of clientele of probably rich, influential men or athletes or rappers or whoever, and they expect a certain look of women to be in that club for those guys to want to get there or go there and spend their money. And you don't meet the criteria. It's just like the whole thing with Hooters. Hooter has a specific look that they want for their servers. And if you do not fall into that particular look that they're looking for, you can't get mad at Hooters. They have a right to have the people in their establishment that they want to attract certain clientele for. And if you don't fit the bill, you don't cut the mustard, stop getting in your feelings. Go find some other club, maybe in a black area, where they'll celebrate you for your bigness and your blackness and your thickness and your skin tone. Instead of crying and complaining on social media that some whack-ass club in Miami didn't let you in. Y'all got to have better self-respect and dignity than this. I wouldn't care if they wanted me in there because they wouldn't get my money. I wouldn't patronize their business. I'm not going to give my money to a group of people who don't rock with me, who don't like me, who find me detestable. What's wrong with y'all? This isn't an issue for social media. This isn't something that needs to be socially engineered of change. If people don't F with you, then don't F with them. What do y'all feel so entitled that y'all think everywhere is a place you should be allowed in? Why? Some places just don't want you there. Some places don't want to let you in. Some places can't stand you. And you know what? That's okay. It's fine. Get your own shit. Don't beg someone to allow you into their establishment. As Black people, we got to stop doing this. We got to stop expecting people to simply allow us into their places because we say we should be there. If someone is Xing you out of opportunities, if someone is Xing you out of entry, make your own. And you'll feel better about it because now you get to celebrate yourself in comfort. That's all I got, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, get it cracking in the comments. I catch y'all in the credits. 2 fingers. Peace. I'm out. Catch y'all on the next one.
Like Jesus.
You think that what we're fighting about is stupid. Just cause you don't agree don't mean it's stupid. Lately communication feels so useless. If we don't got that obsessive love, then what are we doing? I don't ask for much from you. It's like you don't got the time to lose. Made me feel like I'm a burden when I tell you